Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Institution of Global Professional Free Webinar. My lovely audience, today I am your host for this evening, Salma from Bangladesh. Dear audience, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. I feel honored and privileged to host this webinar. It's my delight to welcome you all to our Institution of Global Professional Free Webinar. Thank you all for joining with us tonight in this marvelous evening, and it is humble request and pleasure to all of you stay with us till the end. For I am sure you all will have many takeaways and get payoffs from this webinar. Each time you can like and comment with our webinar, don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends in the comment box. So let's watch together and learn together. We believe that power is gained by sharing knowledge. Once again, I am Salma, core volunteer and head of ambassador in IGP from Bangladesh. Every day, some new participants join with us, so I have to give a little concept about IGP. Institution of Global Professionals serve student and community institutes, providing holistic social work and education for create a professional generation. It is a leading online skill development institute with thousands of learners worldwide. We make it get and able to use for every knowledge seeker to originate personality, more ambitious, more confidence to face any circumstance and develop on skill. We are interested with international recognition. We believe that it is not effective to increase one skill just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generations all over the world. We organize our webinar, training, online, offline courses, etc. by best and trained speaker coaches from all over the world to create a best learning platform for you all. Our mission is to empower people and enhance skill. We have already completed 513 webinars successfully. We expect that you all are getting a little bit benefited in personal and professional life, and we wish that you all are remaining with us in long journey. Let me remind you all again, don't forget to share, tag, comment, and mention your friends in the comment box because your attachment encourages us to do better and best service to our lovely audience. Our mission is to empower our youth, so stay with us by your support. I am cordially welcoming you all. Today we are presenting webinar 514 on translation theory and real-time application with speaker Dr. Rajnayan Avasti. So let's start our program. Let's learn and grow together. Our speaker is Senior Officer and in Just Technological Translation in Electronic Corporation of India Limited. So please give a warm welcome to our Dr. Narayan sir. Hello sir. Good evening sir.
Good evening, Namaskar. Thank you, Ume Salma. First of all, I am very proud to be a member of IGP. Since a long 2 years, continuously I was on the backstage and I was listening each and every program. I have not left due to my personal or any professional assignment, but always I have tried to be a listener. I have gone through all the programs and I learned a lot in my personal way, in my professional way. Really, it's a very long journey. I'm very proud that I have promised to myself that I will be with IGP to a very, very, very long journey. Today I am with you and
Thank you
I
so
will.
much sir. We are really excited to learning new things from you. So please share your incredible knowledge with us. And your
And
attachment
today,
encourages us
yeah,
also. Thank you,
today
sir.
my topic is translation. It's a theoretical aspect and it's a practical aspect. As Ume Salma introduced me, I am senior officer and in charge technological translation in Electronics Corporation of India Limited, Hyderabad, that is in India. So first we should know that what's a translation theory. A.H. Smith, a very famous linguist and a very famous translator worldwide, he has given one definition that to translate is to change into another language. You see, translation has come from two words, trans plus lesson. Trans means from this side, lesson means to carry other side. So translation literally it means to carry the one thing, one message from source language to the target language. Suppose anything we want to translate from English to Bangla or Bangla to English, any language where the two languages are there. So first language, which will be the basic language, it will be known as source language. And where we are going to translate it, another language, it will be a target language. So A.H. Smith has given very good definition. To translate is to change into another language, retaining as much as the same as one can. You see, when we are translating anything from one language to another language, so we are not translating only words. We have to translate word, linguistic aspects, grammar, punctuation, many things, even the cultural heritage, everything we have to translate from one language to another language. So we can understand that when we are translating anything, we should always remember that whatever we are translating, it should go 100%. Neither it should go 110%, neither it should be 90%. Neither it should be transgression, neither it should be transcreation. It should be only translation. It means, suppose we are going to translate a sentence from English to Bangla. So whatever we are translating, same thing should be applicable and same thing should be understood by target language speakers. If you are not able to do, sometimes it's not possible, then translator should see that how he can compromise as minimum as possible. Because no translation is ultimate. We cannot say that whatever translation I have done, that translation is final. Somebody may do the better translation than me. So always translator should always see that how we can give the best translation from source language to target language. In this field, more than nearly over 25 years of my experience, I have seen that when we translate from one language to another language, sometimes we feel that whatever we have translated, okay, it's good, but something best could have been done. That is the destiny of translation. So always translator should be ready to upgrade the translated portion. But one more thing is there. As I said, no translation is ultimate, then translator should be very faithful to the original text. So whatever the original text is there, translator should always focus on that. Suppose anything is written by a writer, and suppose translators thinks that it's not good, then see one thing, that we must see the context of sentence. Suppose we are going to translate a sentence as for example, I am giving that sun rises in the west. A sentence is there, and we have to translate that sun rises in the west. Immediately we will think, no, this sentence is wrong. We should not translate. But as earlier I said, that translator should be very faithful to the original text. He should translate, yes, sun rises in the west. Why? Because it may be a third standard or fourth standard student true or false question, as we are seeing here. Poetry cannot be translated true or false. Same way, a sentence can be that sun rises in the west. true or false. So whenever a translator is going to translate, he should always think in this aspect. Here, the Samuel Johnson has given a very good definition in the translation theory. To translate is to change into another language, re- retaining the sense. Sense is more important. When we are going to translate, sense is the most important thing. Suppose we are going to translate anything from Bangla to English. You think whatever the culture of Bangla is there and whatever the sense of Bangla language is there, when we are going to translate into English, Hindi, Urdu, Punjabi, any other language, Dutch, any other language, that time we should always see that we must retain the sense of Bangla language while translating into another language. This is very, very important thing in the translation. My many friends will be listening, those are in the field of language or linguistics. They should take to their students in the translation field because in translation, but in the translation, because in the translation, we should see that in the translation process, treat the sentence as a unit of discourse for the purpose of translation. You see, when we are translating anything, the whole sentence we should see as a discourse for the purpose of translation. So that is the thing. We should not go word by word. Suppose any sentence is there, like sentence is yes. So when we are translating a single sentence, single word, that time we should always ask for a complete text because in translation, whole sentence is more important and discourse is one of the very, very important thing is in translation. As in my number one also you can see while translating, again I will remind, be faithful to the original text which requires careful reading of the material, proper analysis of the sentences and full grasp of sense underlying them. It comes with a lot of exposure because when we are going to translate, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, please remember two things that while translating, a translator should have very good knowledge of the source language and he should have command in the target language. Means, suppose anything we are going to translate from Bangla to Dutch. So in Bangla, we should know each and every structure of Bangla language in grammatical also, linguistic aspect also, cultural aspect also. And then the same thing, suppose we are going to translate in Dutch or English or French, we should know that language fully. Because if we do not know the sentence structure, grammatical structure, then our translation will not be completed. So this translation process, we should always think the purpose of translation is to convey the message. Now how we will do it? Divide lengthy and involved sentences of the original text in conformity with the genius of the target language. Here, my friends, you should always, when you are going to translate, you must know the genius of target language. Every language has got its genius, its style. So when the sentences are lengthy and it involved many sentences, sub-sentences, that time from the original text we should divide lengthy sentences into small sentences. Because if you don't break the sentences, sometimes our message may not go from one language, from source language to target language as we want. So here, when text is in front of you, first of all, what a translator should do in the professional way, he should mark there that from where we can break the sentences, from where we can start the paragraph, and it should be conformity with the genius of target language. Next, in translation, mark the placement of word or phrase in the structure of original sentence. That is one of the most important things and which every translator should know. I have seen in my professional field many translation texts are coming to me for waiting. What we see, the placement of word or phrase in the structure of the original sentence is missing. Suppose a sentence is there that tomorrow at 10 p.m. all teachers will assemble in the Honorable Principal Chamber. So here you see my sentence tomorrow at say 10 p.m. When we are translating into Bangla or any other language, that time also we should see, we must see, or sometimes we should try to accommodate tomorrow at 10 o'clock. It should come in first. That sentence should not be translated as in the principal room, all the teachers will assemble at 10 o'clock tomorrow. What I want to say, that placement of word or phrase in the structure of the original sentence is very, very important. Yes, sometimes it happens that translator has got some limitations. Gentlemen, it is not there that from whatever you translate from one language to another language, everything may go. But we should always try to send 100% message as it is from source language to target language. If it is there, then our translation will be very, very perfect. Same thing you see, the change of place of the word or phrase at time tends to shift the emphasis. In translation, emphasis is more important. As in my example, I told you that tomorrow at 10 o'clock, all teachers will assemble at principal's chamber. Here, if you do that tomorrow at 10 o'clock, you put in a lost, then emphasis will be disturbed. Here, emphasis is tomorrow and at 10 o'clock. So, when we say and when we issue any circular in office, so readers should understand, oh, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, we all have to assemble in principal chamber. So, here, emphasis is more important. So, whenever you teach any student to translation, you must teach. It is my request that shift of the emphasis is to be taken care of. There should not be any shift of emphasis. If it is there, we may lose the impact of translation. Because one thing is there, in translation, one more important definition is there. No translation should look like a translation. Suppose any translated text is there in front of you. So while a reader is reading, he should not feel that it is translated from somewhere. What he should see that no, it is a real text in front of me. So that thing we should always remember. Here, pay proper attention to context while you look equivalent words or expressions in the target language. Here, proper attention is to be given context. Context is more important. So, when we translate anything, we must see the context. As a professional translator, if context is not there, sometimes it happens because in front of you paper is there, nobody is there, and this translation has come from chemistry or physics. As I am working in the technological translation, so there sometimes problem comes. I am a master of language. I may not know much more about technology. So that time we must take the advice from subject experts that what is the meaning of this context, how it will be working. After, when you come to know the context, everything you can do in the target language. In my next example, you will see give due weight to the extralingual reference while translating. Now you see one sentence is there. I saw a man with telescope. Here different people from different background can think in a different way. One may see, I saw a man was 1 kilometer away, and I saw with a telescope. I was having a telescope, and I saw a man from the hill, he was standing there. Another man may think it, that a man was going with telescope. So I saw a man with telescope. You see, two sentences are there. One sentence in one context, one man is thinking that I have seen a man with telescope, means the man was nearly 1 kilometer away, and through telescope I have seen him. Another translator may think it that a man was going with telescope, I have seen him. So here when we are translating this thing, we must see the context. So here context is very important. Now here use simple, natural and intelligent expression in target language so that it is easily understood by whom the translator is intended. In the professional field, when you translate, suppose you are translating any book for physics for the school student, college student, or university student. Suppose we are translating about solar energy. We must see that this translation is intended for whom, who are our target readers. So suppose about solar energy, we want to prepare a translated book for junior college students, their language should be different. Suppose we want to prepare that book for graduation, that language should be different. Suppose it is for PhD or any research scholar, that should be different. So here translators should always see that when he is going to translate anything, especially in the technological translation and scientific translation, he should see that who are my target readers. So the target readers should be very much in our center. Here, Goethe has given a very good definition of this. A good translation takes us a very long way. So that's why it is written that a good translation plays a very important role in society. Because of translation only, we all are communicating to each other. This whole world, whole global community is very thankful to translators. Whatever book is translated into English, it is coming to Japanese, it is coming to Bangla, it is coming to Hindi, coming to any other language. So here translator role is very important. In translation, the expression should be invariably be conform to the genius and uses of target language. At the same time, it should be fluent and readable. When you translate anything, You see, translation, two things are there. We may translate, but whether it's good or not, how you can come to know? So a translator should himself become a reviewer. That comes in the next stage when we are reviewing the translation or evaluation of translation. Because whatever we have translated, it is good for community, it is understood by community, it is understood by my students. That is more important. So for that purpose, a translator should read himself or herself as a third person. And if you come to know that no, something is missing, I am not able to understand this sentence, and again I have to go my original sentence of the source language. Then you can think it that no, in my translation, there some problem is there. At that time, this real challenge comes in front of translator. So he should or she should always think that fluency and readability is more important. One thing is there. Suppose you have translated any literary context, any literary article, and your reader is not able to understand. Again, he wants to know. Let me go to original. Then you can think it of that whatever I have translated, it is something it is missing. But gentlemen, don't worry. If something is missing in your translation, you can think it of what best we can give. Translation is not 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 or 3 multiplied 3 is equal to 9. No. Here the language, transfer of language is there. All the languages are having different their linguistic field, grammatical structures is there. So that time translator should be very accurate. So he should always, while translating, he should always remember three things: A, B, C. A means accurate. Whatever I am translating, that should be accurate. Next, B, brevity. Whatever we translate, it should be brief and to the point. And C is the clarity. It should be very clear. Here, translator, suppose anything you want to translate. So, what is the problem comes? Words, in my second point, you can see word and expression pertaining to various subjects are at time ecocentric, exocentric. Generally, they have different meaning. Suppose a sentence I will tell charge, CHARGE. Now you see, in English, this charge word has got different meaning, and profession to profession, it will have different impact. Now you see, postal charge, that charge is different. Battery charge, that is different. Then I have taken over the charge of dean in my college, that is different. I have taken over the charge of these computers, that is different. A charge sheet has been filed by police, different. Police do lathi charge, it is different. So you can see that only one word is there, charge, CHARGE. It has got different meaning from different domain. So when any translator, he or she is translating, he should be very careful that the word which he or she is going to translate has come from which domain. They are no longer used in general sense but acquire a specific meaning because of their consistent use in a particular subject. Now you see, when we see in a particular subject, so their meaning also differs from domain to domain. So that time, translators should be very, very careful. I have seen In my professional field, many translation comes to for me for waiting, reviewing, and evaluation. That time, what happens? A translator is not able to, he or she could not understand that this word has come from where. So, if this situation comes, he or she must take the advice of experts. Those are subject experts, they will advise you. Translate after taking into account of the total contextual meaning. Now, this is also very important. While translating, retain the sense of original text, at the same time make the syntax conform to genius structure and uses of target language. Now here two things are there. It has been told by many linguists that in translation is a translator is going from one language to another language is a very thin layer of rod. He may slip at any time. So he should be very, very careful that he must try to retain the text of original text. At the same time, sentences and genius structure and uses that should be conformed to the target language. Because target language is more important. So when we are going to for the target language, he or she should see that this sentence structure is compatible to the target language. That is one of the most important thing. Next, use only the approved equivalent for the technical and scientific terms. You see, when we are going for technological translation, use only approved equivalents for technical and scientific terms. Suppose any scientific term is there, never try to translate, suppose alpha, beta, gamma, pi, phi, lambda. These are things are there. We should not try to translate them. Scientific terms are to be transliterated in the original word. You see, there are two things. One is translation. Translation is from one source language to the target language. Suppose it is mother in the source language, in the target language, whatever translation is of mother, it will be translated. But transliteration is what? In transliteration, we take the word of scientific word as it is. Suppose a ampere is there, voltage is there, gamma is there. We just take as it is because it's very difficult. Suppose we are going to translate these all things. So in cultural translation, in social translation, literary translation, it may run. But when we are working on scientific translation, especially technological translation, it may not be suitable. We may land up to ambiguity. So when our target reader will read, he will not able to justify the translated text. Next, ensure the name of organization to be translated in its registered or approved name in the target language. This is very, very important because as I'm also working in one organization, so when you are going to translate, suppose same, I will give my example. Suppose this Institute of Global Professional, and you are going to translate this information you want to bring in your own language. Now, this IGP has been registered in the same name, Institute of Global Professionals. So, when you are going to translate in your own language, please only transliterate. Same thing in your own script, you should write down. But this institute, global, professional, you should never try to translate into your own language, because this organization is having registered a name in this name. This happens many times. Our institute also registered in some name, and its a translated version comes to me. So, but I feel that I know that translator should never do this thing, and it may land up to another problem. So be very, very careful when we are going to translate any organization name. These are the very important things which any translator should do. Gentlemen, this translation is going to be very, very important aspect of our global community. Now, whole generation, whole global, as IGP is doing very wonderful work, and whatever PPT I am seeing, whatever their presentation is uploaded in their YouTube, if we having translators, so we can translate into many many languages, and whatever the this motto of IGP is there, it will go in a very very long way. Because one thing is there, we understand in our own mother tongue much more. We may speak in any language, we may write in any language, but when the things come for understand our own mother tongue is very, very important thing. So suppose anything is there, we can give to our students. Suppose any in Bangladesh, suppose any graduation students are there and they want to translate Gitanjali in any language, Rabindranath Tagore Gitanjali in any language. So that time, these are the principles and these are the very, very important fundamentals of translation which will help them. Then international formula, scientific symbols should be invariably written in their original form. Throughout translation, maintain the style of source language. If the total effect of the text is retained, the translation becomes authentic, accurate, and expressive of the sense. So, if any some of our esteemed viewers are there, those are teaching English language, they should always try to teach their students that translation should be very authentic, very accurate, and very expressive. Authentic means because the whatever you are putting in front of your target readers, he is not knowing about the source language. So it is your duty, whatever you put in front of them, it should be very authentic and very accurate. Always follow the standardized spellings, maintain the uniformity of terminology, and use expressions which are widely current. Now, these things also comes that standard spelling should be used, uniformity of terminology should be used, especially when we are translating mathematical expressions like trigonometry, algebra, coordinates, or physics, chemistry. Then that time this terminology is very very important and which are to be used, which are widely current. You see, now you see that somebody may tell that what is the meaning of widely current. You see, I have seen one sentence and it came for translation to me. One famous Bengali musician, when I visited Calcutta, so there I saw in newspaper, sentence was there, music is not a copy paste job. Music is not a copy paste job. Now you see, this copy paste job, how you can translate? It's a widely current phenomena. Before 90s, we are not knowing that much more about what is copy paste. Copy paste, neither it is copying nor pasting. It's a different thing. we cannot express by words. So we have to write down in a very, very different way which your language may see. So we should use the widely current phenomena. In a normal scene also, nowadays people suppose many programs I have to translate and I have to go there, suppose for interpretation. So many people will say, now from this note, I will sign out. Now you see, sign out has come from computer. Earlier people used to say, there's from this verse, I will leave the stage or I will leave the rostrum. But now people say, from this note, I will sign out. So how you are going to translate this thing is a very, very important and very challenging aspect of for the any translator. Now this is very important that don't in the translation. So far we have seen only what a translator should do. That is must, but it is one of the most important factor he or she should not do in translation. Because when we go in a real-time translation practice, gentlemen, there is no time for. It's a very, very fast process. Suppose when you go for any technological translation in any company, suppose it is not a literary translation that you are translating any book, so you may take 1 week, 2 week, 1 month. Sometimes for translating a book takes years. But when we are working in a corporate area, any corporate sector, any multinational company, that time you have to give translation in a very, very fast way. In previous translator, in the whatever the translators theory we are having, we are not having time management in translation. In my corporation where I am working, in the Electronics Corporation of India Limited, we have made a time bound practice and how we can manage in a very, very minimum efforts. So time management is very important. Now, don'ts in the translation. Number one, do not start translating without proper comprehension of sense in the original text. Failure to do so may lead to distortion of the sense in the target language. Therefore, don't be hectic through the process of comprehension. Suppose any text is in front of you. Please do not start immediately translating. First, read the sentence and understand the sentence in your own words. So, first you should see actually what this sentence is giving message. And the time you got the sense that this is the message of translation, your 99% work is done. But don't be hectic. Don't be so fast. Yes, after experience, when you will have the experience, you will know many things and you will come to know that, oh, this sentence has come, this text has come, what is the message of this. You need not to see any dictionary because a translator should be a running encyclopedia. Every time he should not go for dictionary. As soon as you will be in this field, you will know many words and you will have your own diction. You will have your own compiled dictionary in your mind. So here you should give proper attention to the original text. Suppose one proper attention you have not given in the beginning. Sometimes, gentlemen, I'm telling you, you will not able to open your pen for translation that from where I have to start. One more thing is there. You have to start from the beginning. Earlier, I have one example I have told you that tomorrow at 10 o'clock, all teachers will assemble at Honorable Principal Chamber. So when you start, you should see that there should not be any distortion in the emphasis. There should not be any shift of emphasis. So it's a very challenging job, translation, but it's a very good job. When you will go for translation, you will come to know the power of my language. You will think it that yes, my language has got this power, but sometimes you will also see that no, for this word in my language, there is no synonyms. Next is there, don't render word for word translation for a sentence as a whole has its own meaning. Don't go for word translation. The whole sentence you should think as a unit. Suppose you are going for word translation. It will be not be understood by anybody. So your translation should be very good. Suppose when we are translating any poetic sense, the prose translation of a lyric or any poetic translation we are doing, you see, when we are going for any literature translation, so literature, everybody know, literature has got a different dimensions. Prose has got different dimension. Poetry has got different dimension. This act play has got different dimensions. Then cinema has got different dimension. There is a different dimension of interlingual translation. That is a very, very big aspect. If I get time in future, I will speak about what is the interlingual translation. So when we are translating from prose to prose, it's a very easy. Suppose any text is there in Bangla and we are going to translate into English. It's a very easy because we will take matter from Bangla and we will transfer into English. But suppose we want to translate the poetry of Nasrul Islam or Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore from Bangla to English in my own way. It's a very difficult. There are two things. Poetry translation into prose has got different challenge, and poetry translation again into poetic sense, it has got different challenges. So when any translator is going to translate from poem to poem, he or she should have little bit knowledge of poetry also, because that sense is more important when he or she is going to translate. Same thing, suppose more challenges comes when any prose is there and you are going to make it for play, drama. That has got different challenges because their action also involves. Their action also involves. So this is one of the most important thing a translator should know. For that purpose, it has been taught in my academic institutes that a translator should study many things. He should always study about prose, poetry, drama, culture, newspapers, this technological concepts, because he will come to know different background and different phenomena. That is most important things for a translator. One more है कि do not overlook the position of word or phrase in the sentence. Earlier I have told that position of the word is very important. Do not construct lengthy, odd, and cumbersome sentences. As in the translation, what is needed is singularity of expression, not sentences as translation. What is needed is singularity of expression, not of sentence. This is very important. Suppose anything is there in 5 sentences, one sentence, and you want to make you want to make the sentence in another language, then Jesse Cutford, he was a very famous translator. He had written that expression is more important than making of the sentences. So translator should always see in his or her mind expression. So here important thing is there, while you are translating anything, that time, that time, that time, a translator should always think, and he should always be reader of his or her own sentence. So that is one of the most important things about translation. Do not ignore the context of original text while searching the synonym of in the target language. You see, in the original text, while searching the synonym of target language, do not ignore the context. Context is more important for anything. So here for translators, this context is very, very important things. Next, do not depend solely upon lingual expression relations. This means that the lingual semantic relations, a translator should always see that from which aspect and from which context this semantic relation has come. So these are the very, very important things for any translator. And when you are translating anything, as in the professional field, suppose a text has come in front of you, one paper text is there. What you should do, immediately you should take one paper and you should underline the sentences from where you can break the sentences. Next thing, from where you can have some difficult words, you can write down, because every time you should not go to see the dictionary. A real translator, when you go in your professional field, that time you will see there won't be time to see the dictionary for each and every word. So that time, for that, a translator should be there, that he or she should have your own diction. Do not construct complex, lengthy, and odd sentences which are unnatural. One more thing is there, that unnatural sentences are never to be made. But when we are translating any cultural text, gentlemen, we should be very, very alert. You see, when we are translating mathematics, when we are translating physics or chemistry, there won't be any difference from one concept to another concept. Suppose Coulomb law is there, or principle of Archimedes is there. Whatever taught in India, same thing is taught in Bangladesh, same thing taught in Pakistan, same thing taught in England, anywhere. So when we are translating scientific text, there won't be any problem. But when we are translating any cultural or any social issues into another language, we should be very, very alert, because one society may think this is good, in another society that same pattern may be bad. So when we are translating, these are things we must contact to the source language, to where we are going to target language culture. We must see that there should not be any problem. Many times I have seen that from the original it doesn't happen anything. When it is translated, people have disregarded the system. So for that, this translator should be very, very alert for translating any social issues, political issues, any cultural issues. Though I have told you that a translator should be very faithful to the original text, but at the same times, when he is going to translate the social issues, he should be very alert. I will say that he should not read the sentences by eyes, he should read the sentences by lens. Not even a single thing should be there if it is go to another community and there any social issues arises. That is the duty of a good translator. Many our this farmer linguist and translators, they have given very good definitions. One is there. One Mr. Taylor has given a very famous linguist. A ordinary translator sinks under the energy of his original. The man of genius frequently rises above it. Means the ordinary translators, what he does, he follow only the original, but a real translator goes above that. So that is the most important thing of a translator. Here I have seen that when in my professional field, I have seen that when you are in newspaper also, many times I see that when it is translated, whatever it was in original, it was different thing. But when it is translated, it has gone to different direction and all problems arises. So here is a duty of a translator that he should always be very thorough in this. That's why it is written, do not blindly follow the syntax of source language while translating. Always don't follow the blindly syntax of source language. You should follow you should adhere the syntax structure of the target language, and do not translate literally such word or expression peculiar to various subjects without understanding their meaning, established meaning. You see, suppose when I was doing my PhD, so this one novel was there, and that was translated into German. And when German people came, they were doing the act and that novel. So that people were laughing, those who were seeing, because whatever the sentence is there, suppose any farmer was there, one Indian farmer was there, his expression is there, his name is there. You see, these are things should be very clear. So when translator translate anything into drama or any act play, he should see that whatever he is translating, same thing it is spoken or not. Suppose in Bangla, any whatever pronunciation is there, and it has come to English, same drama, then that pronunciation should be same. Because if it doesn't same, the audience will go away and they will think that it's translated. As I told you, that a real translator is that whose translation does not look like a translation. So this is one of the most important aspect in translation studies. There are different challenges are there in real field. When you go, each and every word you will find. In my professional field, I have translated thousands of papers, but still I feel that I should have translated in a better way. Whatever I have translated, some more finishing could have been done. But there were some limitations, grammatically, structural, linguistic. So it is there. When you go for any translation, you yourself will think, no, something can be better. And if it comes in your mind that something can be done better, that is the real sense of translation. So this is one of the most important thing, that do not construct sentences which are inconsistent with genius, structure, and uses of target language. You see, I have seen one book of physics that Martin Greenlander has translated from Russian to English in 17th century. He had written in the preface that though I have translated this book and I have given all the flavor, all the humor in this book. But it is my request from a reader that while reading this book, please pause for thought and stay for thinking. Because when any scientific translation is coming in front of you, so pause for thought, you think it. Many times it comes that this translation is very hard. You see, no language is hard, no language is simple. Each and every language has got a very structured grammar. Only because we are not knowing about that language, about that word, so that it becomes very hard, very tough. So when we are translating, we should understand the established meaning. As I am working in this technological field, that is my domain. So in metallurgy, there are two things. Metallurgy means the science of material. So material has got two properties. One is hard material, one is tough material. And for a common man, whatever is a hard, same is tough. He is a very hard man, he is a very tough man, doesn't make any difference. This this pen is very tough, this pen is very hard. But when it comes to material, there is a lot of difference. Hardness means it is a ability of a metal to resist abrasion, penetration, indentation, and cutting action. Toughness is different. So when we are translating these things, that time we should always think that we should make the difference of all these things, that how we can do. So these are the important things for this translation. Same thing like a brittle. Brittleness, you will see that whenever you will have any TV will come in your house, so there one glass will be there. It will be cut. It means it is brittle. Brittleness definition is given. It is the ability of a metal to fracture on receiving a blow or shock. You try in your own language, in Bangla, in Dutch, in Urdu, that what may be a translation of brittleness. But don't think that whatever is brittle, it has to be break one day. I have one glass from the last 30 years, it has not been broken. So brittleness doesn't mean that it has to break one day. No. If it gets shocks, it will be broken within no time. So when we are going to translate, these are things we should be very, very careful about all these things, that how we can overcome. And this overcoming cannot come by overnight. Your own experience, your own purpose, and your own mission will guide you. As in my personal experience, I say this translation was very new subject for me. But when I went in depth in there, so my each and every challenges has polished me. I have come to know that this problem is going to come in this sentence. So suppose one page is translation, you underline there. Don't hesitate, don't stay there, and you go ahead. When your paper is there, sometimes what happens, suppose any meaning you are not able to know in the beginning, but in last when you go there, you can come to know that what is the meaning of this sentence. I will say that one in my professional field when I was beginner, one word came current. I was astonished because I was knowing about only current account, which is in bank. So there I came to know after that that current has got different meaning, and that was for current affairs. There are three things is there. One in house also electricity current is there. In banking system current account is there. For river it is suppose Brahmaputra is there, Hubli is there. It is water current is there. But one is current affairs. Earlier it was not there when this competitive exams were not there before 70s. It was a very new phenomena, new books were coming in the late 80s all over the world about the current affairs. Current affairs, how you will translate this current word? Please try to translate in your word, and I'll be very happy to see your how you translate into your own language. Sometimes your own language may have a very good meaning of this. I don't say, but many languages have not gone, are not having the meaning of this. So that also you should see that how we are going to translate from one language to another language. Do not treat every word as a technical or scientific part translation. One more thing is there. Don't treat anything that it is very technical, very highly technical. No. You sometimes social words are there. You see, nowadays, in society, different words are coming. Before few days, one newspaper has given me a translation, and there one sentence was there. Nowadays, people prefer nuclear family. Now you see, this nuclear family, how you can understand until unless you don't know the nuclear word, and it has come from, it is a domain of physics or chemistry. So this to translate the nuclear family, we must know the meaning of nuclear. So that is the most important. Nuclear means very small family. That's why for translation, these words are very challenging words for translating. Or sometimes we may say that he or she both are having very good chemistry. Now this chemistry word, how we can translate into social sciences? Because in social science there is no chemistry word. So translating these words is coordination, correlation, many things are there in English. When you go for your own language, take a paper, take a newspaper, and try to translate into your own language. You will come to know that how difficult, how challenging it is. You can understand the English newspaper. You can understand the Bangla newspaper, what it want to say. You can understand Urdu newspaper, what is the meaning, what is the message. But when somebody says that, okay, this need you translate into English, it will be very difficult for you because in translation, nothing you should add and nothing you should leave. That is the most important thing which you should follow. Here, proper nouns should not be normally be translated. They should be translated. Earlier I have told you, proper nouns are there. They should not be translated. Suppose any name is there. Suppose any name is there. So that name is to be totally translated. In scientific translation also, international formula, science, and symbols are not to be translated. So these are the very important things in scientific translation. So these are the most important things. Again, I will repeat that when you go, do not blindly follow the syntax, do not translate literally such words, and do not construct the sentences which are inconsistent. So I hope that this translation is going to play a very vital role. Whatever I could study, I could read Gitanjali in Hindi only because of translation, and then only I could come to know that what a great poemic epic was written by Rabindranath Tagore. I could read many Bangla stories. I could read Sarachand Chattopadhyay only after reading their translation. So by translation, we are coming together. When we read the translation, what we feel? No. Whatever is happening in India, same problem is in Bangladesh. Whatever education problems are here, they people are also accelerating in the same field. We should know that whatever problems our villagers are facing here, same problems are all over globally. Same agriculture problem, any problem. So by translation, by reading translation, we come together from one source to another source. So this whole universe is a very grateful to translators because we cannot be the master of many languages in a very limited resource of time. By translation, we can read many things and we can understand and we can go ahead whatever nature has given us and from other this culture, other language, we can learn a lot. I was not knowing about Nazrul Islam earlier, but when I read, then I saw that he is telling to uh, moon that it is a bread. A mother is telling his son it is a bread. So by reading these things, we can come together and we can understand many things. So these are the basic sub translation. And in real time practice, I'm telling you that suppose anybody from here, anybody is going, I hope many our here professors and teachers will be listening. Our esteemed audience, please make sure that you should follow your path in the translation field. When you go for translation, you will come to know that translation is very important thing, very important thing, and translation brings together the two culture, two societies, and two generations. What were happening in 19th century, we could not come to know. When that is translated in my language, I could come to know that what was our past. So that is one of the most important thing in the translation. So these are the basic things. I hope that this it will be very important things. And here, one more thing is there that do not disregard the style of source language that attempt may distort, render incoherent, and destroy the total effect of original. In translation, target language, regional influence should be avoided. You see, suppose you are translating any Bangla story into any other language in English, in French. So you should see that you should translate in a such a way that when French reader, English reader, or any Hindi reader in India reads your story, reads your novel, he should not think that it has been translated from a Bangla translator. It should, there should not be any regional influence. But one thing is there, it's a very difficult and very challenging. As soon as you will have exposure, as soon as you will have your own practice, your regional influence will be avoided, because when you are going to read your own story, that time you will come to know that how to avoid and how to make your concept more perfect. So these are the basic things for any translator, for any language teacher, especially those are language teacher. They should, I'm sure that they will be knowing about the fundamentals of translation, because in language field, this translation is very, very important. So gentlemen, these were the very broad area of definition of translation, their theoretical aspects, and their real time problems, challenges. But one thing in translation, don't use the word that these are the challenges, these are the opportunities. Because when I came in this field, I was thinking that these are the challenges in front of me as a translator, but no, these are the opportunities which comes in front of me, and we can learn another language, and we can make the sense of translation in better way. So whatever you have translated, try to do in a more polished way. No translation is ultimate. Every time you can polish. But sometimes what happens, suppose you are working in an office, you are going to compile a book, there won't be any retake. But as a good translator, when it is a second edition is coming, please note down in one diary, and whatever good things are coming in front of you, you must carry forward. Those things are there, because in translation process, always there is a ample scope of betterment. That always you think that we can do much more better in my translation field. Thank you. I'm very thankful to IGP. I'm very thankful to all my esteemed listeners. I have been the like you in past 2.5 years. Really, I'm having all the from the beginning, all the details of IGP. I learned a lot, especially in the field of education. Education was my favorite subject, but I could not study in my personal academic area. But when I went there, many presentation I saw, and I saw the commitment of Kausik Datta sir, that what a committed man is there, and from Bangladesh, from Philippines, from India, across we are, and from this IGP, we came to know that whatever is happening outside, it is not only we are seeing the only negative things, but much more is done in a positive way through IGP. So I am very thankful to IGP. I am very thankful to organizers, and I'll be very thankful if any question is there. I'll be very happy. Thank you. Namaskar.
That's amazing, sir. We are obliged to you for your marvelous presentation and giving us your valuable time. This session will be effective for our audience. Thanks for enlightening us with your pulse of wisdom on translation theory. Thank you for your contribution, and thank you for your precious time from your choco-block timetable, and your knowledge will be effective for our audience because you shared your insight. No doubt our viewers will be benefited today by the awareness they received taught your technique. Before moving to quiz competition, thank you so much, sir. Before moving to quiz competition, once again, I want to remind you all, please support us with your share, tag, comment, and mention your friend will. We will give the e-certificate link in the comment box, and if you will face any problem, you can collect e-certificate from our website. And after collecting e-certificate, don't forget to celebrate with IGP by checking. It's time for quiz competition. Now the battle is beginning. This means the quiz completion. Please invite your friends, and you can access this from slido.com, and the code is IGPQUIZ. We will start our quiz competition after presentation immediately. Quiz competitions, you can access this quiz competition from www.slido.com, code IGPQUIZ. We will pick your name from quiz or slide, so join with your full name, which will directly print on certificate. Top 10 will be awarded with quiz competition certificate. After quiz competition, we have Q&A. Certificate process step by step. So it's time for, we are waiting for participants, because attending more participants makes us more excited. Which one will be the first? Who will be the first? Who will be the top 10? We are really excited for that. Please mention your friends, tag your friends in the comment box, and invite your friends. Play together. Already 90 participants on our we have only 19 participants, where Veneranda, Elilita, Nilufar, Grammar. Now it's 21. It's now Elisa, Elias, Emile, Gemma, Leah, Crispiano. I think the time is running. Please invite your friends and your colleagues, whatever you want. Um, Sometimes I think that the IGP, you can gain knowledge in different topic. You can also participate with different country people in competition, and you can ask different type of questions on different subject. That is a great place to earn knowledge, to learn something new, to competitor with everyone. I think more to learn, and you can more to smarter. Now 24 participants joined. Is Elenita, Leah, MLA, Alex. We are waiting for more participants. So please, for more participants, so please tag your friends in the comment box and play together. Only 24, and the time is running. You can access this quiz competition from the Slido, www.slido.com, and the code is IGPQIQU. Yes, you can also join from the link. It is given on the comment box. Please join with us. You can easily access from the comment box. We are already put the link on the comment box. We are waiting. 25 participants. Which one is the Ashok Kumar Dikhari, Leah Fanchula? Only 26 participants have joined. We are waiting for more participants. I want to remind you all again, please share, tag your friends in comment box and play together. We are really excited for our most participants. Only 26 participants are visual. I think more participants will be joined, and you can easily access this link from already we gave 30 participants. Sorry, already we gave our link on the comment box. We are waiting for participants, please. Because now we will start our quiz competition. Now it's 28. We have 28 competitor. And the quiz competition will begin. Is- Uh, please share your please share and tag your friends in comment box because more participants will be more excited game. Okay, we are waiting for now 29 participants are joined. Please you can easily access from our comment box links, and also you can join in www.slider.com, and the code is IGPQUIZ, and the link is in comment box. You can access from there easily, and top 10 will be awarded with quiz competition. And the 30 are now we have 30 competitor. It will be so excited. And note that there is no relationship between quiz competition and international webinar certificate and webinar series certificate. Quiz certificate for 20 top 20 quiz competitor winners. International webinar certificate for all active participants. And now it's time for quiz competition, and we will now start the competition. Yes, our first question is constructive analysis and translation are integral part. And the answer is yes or no. Which one is the correct? Time is running. It's 9, 8. Sometimes 3, 2, 1, and it's finished. And which we have to wait for the correct answer. And the correct answer is yes, and the 97% percentage are correct. Now it's time for second question. Our second question is translation is a part of sociolinguistic and applied linguistic. Which one is the correct? Time is running. So answer the correct one. Now 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's finished. And the right one is applied linguistic, and 56% are participants are correct. And the first one is Rosalie. Okay, the third question is constructive analysis and translation are integral part. And which one is the correct answer? Yes or no? Already 30, 32, 33. Everyone is now selected which one is the correct. And now the time is finished 1. And the correct answer is yes, and 100% participants are correct. Now the fourth question is, and the first one is okay. In translation basis of word, comparison is done on the basis of formal, semantic, and constructual. Which one? Which one is the correct? Yes or no? We are waiting for the right answer, and all the participants already yes, that time is finished. 94 participants are the correct. And we are waiting for the next question. Is fifth one. In technical translation, translator should take advice from the subject expert. Which one is the correct? We are waiting. Time is running. Is 10, 9, 8, 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the time is finished. And the 94 participants are correct. And I'm sorry for the 6% participants. We are waiting for the sixth question is the peculiar genius of the language appear best in the process of translation, and we are waiting for the right answer. The answer is true or false. Which one is the correct? This time is over. 2, 1, and the time is over now. And 100% participants are correct. No one is. I'm not feeling sorry for 0%. And the seventh question is there are three pre-modifiers in English: adjective, particulate, and noun. Which one is the correct? Yes or no? And the time is running. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 66% audience are correct. And sorry for the 34%. Already 7 questions passed, and the eighth question is semantic specification in translator is accurate dot. And which one is the correct answer? Field or skill? Time is running. It's now 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's over. And 54% participants are correct. Now we are waiting for the next question. The ninth question is the translator should closely see the source language text in between the lines. Which one is the correct answer? Yes or no? Time is running now. 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's over, I think. Yes, it's over. And the right answer is yes, and 97% participants are correct. Congratulations. And the last question, we are waiting for last question and the top 10. Okay, the last question is ideas can be translated but not the words and the associations. Which one is the correct answer? True or false? We are waiting. Now the time is running. It will be over. Now we have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and it's over. 55% audience are correct. And sorry for the 45%. And this one is our last question. And our quiz competition is now for tonight. Over for tonight. And congratulations, Emeline A. I think the first one is MLA, then second one is Nilufar Yasmin Lima, third one is Rose, fourth one is Ashok Kumar Adhikari, fifth one is Marivik, then sixth one is Annalita, seven is Gema, Charlene, and nine one is Leah, 10 one is Gemaline B. Rivera. I think we already found our top 10. Top 10 is not participants. Congratulations, quiz competition winners, top 10. You will collect the quiz competition certificate from our page, IGP page. Thank you so much for joining us in the quiz competition. And Miss A.K. Adhikari, and obviously you are fourth one, and congratulations you, and the congratulations to the top 10 winners. Now it's time for Q&A. It's time for question and answer session. Here our speaker, Dr. Nayan sir, is Nayan sir. You can ask your question in comment box. So please put your question in comment box and enhance your knowledge by learning. I think asking question is first step for learning. So please put your question in the comment box. I think you enjoyed the presentation also. So if you have any question, we are requesting to ask your questions in comment box. And please address speaker name in with your question. After Q&A, we will share certification process. You will receive class material tomorrow on website, this program description. We are waiting for your question, and Dr. Nayansa is also waiting for your questions. So please put your question in the comment box. I can also hear some people are commenting. Congratulations, and either Ramiji is a fifth in the quiz competition. Congratulations for you will be next time. You will be the first one. I hope. And Mr. Adhikar is the fourth one. Congratulations, congratulations. And congratulations, top 10 winner. And Miss A.K. Adhikari, he told that my certificate is dedicated to Dr. Raj Narayan Awasti. Sir, he dedicated you this one, his certificate. And thank you for this one. Thank you, RJP host. Okay, speaker Dr. Raj and CA sir. Dear participants, please write your question in the comment box. If you have any question, you can ask in the comment box. Uh, 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 we are waiting for your questions. I think asking question will help you to enhance your skill, your learning, and it is the first step to learn. Congratulations to all, sir. Okay, thank you so much. We are waiting for your questions. We are so please put your questions in the comment box. Mr. Adigar says, well done, Miss Dr. Narayan Rasnayan, sir. And the topic is very explained. Ramirez also told this. Please put your write down your question in our comment box, and we are waiting for your questions. Dr. Narayan sir is also waiting for your questions. He is ready for this. So please put your question in comment box and enhance your knowledge by learning. We are waiting for your questions. I think today's I think today's viewer also learn new something new, and uh, it will be implement in your life. Gema Benelada also told thank you very Sir Dr. Raj Ryan Awasti. Sir, can you share your experience in our to this IGP session?
Definitely, Ume Salma, I'm very thankful. Really, I, from my side, I'm telling you that before 2 years, I came to know about this IGP. Then I'm having each and every record of this, how many this webinars I have attended. Now you can imagine that daily attending two webinars, working in the corporate sector. Today it was Sunday, there are three webinars. So you have made such a academic hectic schedule. Really, I am very proud of IGP. I learn a lot from this because when you go for any international webinar, one of the most important thing the IGP, it is not that you are in front of me, so I am telling. It's a highly managed. It's a highly time discipline, totally dedicated, and whatever the learned speakers are coming before me, I'm telling you, 100% they have been in their disciplined line. Because you take much more care before 1 hour you take the trial. So there is a, for audience, not even a single second is the lapse. Sooner they join, up to the last they can learn from there. Moreover, only from the last when there's the very pious festival of Eid was there, you cannot imagine that 1 week how I spent, because for 1 week there was no program, and I was waiting that when the 7th May will come, again I will join the IGP. Now one more, my complete diary had been fulfilled by this IGP notes, whatever speakers are telling. Really, I'm very thankful that moreover here Adhikari is there. I'm very thankful to Adhikari sir. He's from Bangladesh. Only from through this only I came to know my many friends. I'm very thankful to Kausik Datta also. Madam, please keep going, because we are in a still much more you have to do for society, and our bucket is only half bucket. Many things we have to fill for us. I'm very small man in my professional field, and I'm very sure that whole generation will be very thankful to you. You have set such a benchmark in global community. I have never seen. I have attended thousands of webinars, but the way IGP attend and your website, everything, you can have the previous 1 year. You can download this program, and whatever the programs are coming, it's a very disciplined manner, very authentic, and I'm very proud that I am belong to a IGP family.
Thank you so much, sir. Uh, I think this is a place where you can find everything, every subject you can learn from every subject. If you want to learn computer science, you can also find this type of topic in this IGP. Everything you can find from this IGP. And thank you, sir. To your attachment is encourage us to do more things for IGP. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, we are waiting for you on all waiting for your questions. I think
Any question from Ashok Kumar Adhikari, sir?
all are already Adhikar sir said all are okay, sir. I have no questions. And Chris, it was insane. Jung said it was an interesting session. Yearly, it was so interesting session. I learned a lot of things. Translation theory is so much broader. Money, I think it's so much expecting subject. I didn't learn about this, but when you explain, yes, I think it is so much. I have to learn something, many things from this translation theory.
Thank you.
And Cristiano said, congratulations to the winners. Obviously, congratulations to all the top 10 winners. And participants are requested to put your questions in the comment box. Already Innocent Dajlang said, can you please, Innocent Dajlang said, can you please say a little about transliteration?
Okay, thank you, Innocent. What is the transliteration? Do you see? There are three things in the translation. One is the translation, one is the transliteration, and one is the transcription. Now, I will tell you, suppose if one thing is there, as an example, I tell you, there's a book. So for this book, you are having translation in your own language. But suppose word is the college. Now for college, suppose you want many things are there, like a country's name, like Russia, Czechoslovakia, that you cannot translate. Psychology, you can imagine in psychology that starts from P, and when we speak from S, psychology. So same thing, if you don't translate and you just write down in your own script of your own mother tongue or your own language of your nation, that is the transliteration. Again, I will tell you, translation is from one language to another language. Transliteration is from one language to another language, keeping the same word in your own script. Means there won't be any translation. Same thing you will write. Suppose word is there, English, English, and you write in Bangla also same, English. That is the transliteration. Okay, Innocent Dajang. Any more question is there? I will be very happy to answer your
Thank you
question.
so much, sir. Thank you for sharing your answer with our participants. Let's see who's going to ask our next question. I think your presentation is completely, absolutely good. That is why our participants telling that they are pleased with your presentation. They have no question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry for internet corruption. Okay, thank you so much, sir. I think it's well answered. And already Charlie said that thank you again, Dr. Narayan Awasthi, for sharing your knowledge and insight with us. Highly appreciated. Now it's time for ending. Thank you so much, sir, for giving your valuable time with us. Dear
I'm
knowledge
very
seeker,
thankful
I
to.
would like to thank you all for my deep heart for attending today's session. Hopefully, you learn something new and you will implement it in your life. Please leave a review, recommend on our page if you learn something or we help you a little bit. Don't forget to collect e-certificate and obviously give a check-in with IGP. Please spread the information with your friends. We hope to see you all again in next webinar. Thank you so much. Stay happy and stay safe. And obviously, Sir Narayan sir, well answered. You're well answered, and thank you so much to our speaker and pleasing viewers. And I'm confident and positive that you might have brain pick and learn something new today, which will be show in your life or your career growth. Uh, so brave the so stay happy, stay safe. I am your host, Salma, and today's certification process is on the screen. You can see today's program name is Translation Theory and Real Time Application, and the code is IGP3972. Without code, no one is eligible for a certificate. With code, you can claim your certificate anytime. And without an account on our website, you can visit, but you cannot do anything functionally. So, our today's program is Translation Theory and Real-Time Application, and the code is IGP3972. And so please note the code, because without code no one is eligible for certificate. Okay, you will receive our class material tomorrow on our website with this program description. Thank you so much. So stay happy, stay safe. I am your host, today's host, Salma, signing out. Bye bye.